All right, podcast mamas, we're back. Let's hit it. Ryan.
It's time for bed, oh, it's time for you. Mom and Dad says what you gotta do. We don't care if you ain't tired. Take it from the one whom you so admired. It's bedtime for Ella Missy. Don't you cry or go and hiss it. No more games and no running around, 'cause we don't wanna hear another sound. Just take your bell and get tucked in and don't make us swear again and again and again.
Welcome back to the show. It's the podcast mamas navigating life with laughter in a special needs world. I'm your special needs mom, Carly, and I'm here with two amazing humans on the planet. One is none other than Ella's fairy godmother, Nicole, my co-host from Chicago.
Hello, everyone.
And the fabulous Miss Laura, who dabbles in all things to take care of so many humans on the planet. Welcome back to the show, our beautiful guest, Miss Laura.
Thank you.
So there's so much to talk about. I just feel like there is so much to talk about. I've been running around crazy with my darling little ball of love, Ella, who has more energy than she's ever had in her lifetime, I think.
Wow.
I know we just had her pulmonologist appointment yesterday, and she's like, "So, how's her energy?" And I'm like, "She needs a sedative."
Wow.
And how's her eating? She's gained 5 pounds for the first time in 8 years.
Wow.
Do you feel like maybe energy was low before on the meds?
I don't feel like I ever would have thought her energy was low. Like she had days, right? Like she's always had her days where she was flat, tired, run down. But we've always never thought of Ella as someone who doesn't have a good energy level.
Okay.
So imagine now.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's really doing so incredibly well. And what I will say is that this right now is a challenging time of year for my brain because I have to get so many things done for her. So on top of my monthly 5 different pharmacists that I work with to order all of her medications that she needs to take every month. And on top of that, I have to do her guardianship paperwork because every year you have to refile and you need a medical report. You have to fill out a formal document and then you have to send that into the courts. And now I'm in the process, which is kind of a bittersweet. We are saying goodbye to her beloved pediatrician that she's had since she was 6 months old.
Wow.
Moving on.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah. And so with that, I have to
that's
show,
big.
I have to show guardianship. I have to establish myself as her, healthcare power of attorney in their system so that I can have access to her account to even just communicate with the doctor on her behalf. So for example, like Ella doesn't need a well check until next year, and I've got her registered with the physician, but Ella gets a Depo-Provera shot every couple months. And in order for her to get the shot, she has to meet the doctor. In order to meet the doctor, she needs an appointment. In order to get an appointment, I have to send the message through Ella's account in the My Chart, but I can't do that until I have access. It's like, so
That's a lot.
that's where we're at. And it's all silly stuff. I just have to, park my booty in a computer and make the calls and do the things. And it's, get yourself organized. So.
No, but this is good insight. I feel like a lot of even me didn't realize all the behind the scenes stuff that you have to deal with all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
It's a lot.
I mean, the meds, I love to just do the meds in my car, right? Because I'm always in my car driving. In fact, wait till you see our Christmas card this year, you're going to laugh. But I'm always in my car. And so when I get like the CVS Specialty Pharmacy, Optima Specialty Pharmacy, Accredo, Walgreens, when I get all of them, I'm like, okay, call, okay, order, call, order, And it's
Wow.
funny, you can't streamline them. And I talked at length with this about because her medicines are so specialized that some are only distributed by certain pharmacies. So it makes it
I
hard
would
to combine.
say this sounds overly complicated. I didn't realize that.
I
Okay.
know, I know. So yeah, the Winrevair is only through CVS Specialty. The Uptravi is only through Accredo. The Ambrisentin and Tadalafil we get through Optima, and then the Pantoprazole blah blah is through Walgreens.
Wow.
So, you know, it's a little bit of a circus act, but hey, that's just small potatoes when it's just ordering. It's just you got to keep your brain on target. So when you see those ads for Prevagen on the Hallmark Channel, I I I think I need to be their poster child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carly,
Yep.
I can't remember if I talked about this on the podcast before or not, but this whole situation is making me think of it.
Yeah.
Um, I have a client whose parents are a bit older,
Hmm.
and we created together this past summer a binder. It's like a 3-inch thick binder that has any and all information that anyone would need for this kiddo. God forbid anything happens. And I'm thinking, hearing how complicated this process is, do you
Yeah.
have anything like that? Do you have any cheat sheets? Because, like, God forbid you got in an accident tomorrow and stuff needed to be ordered. Would anyone else in your
Wow.
circles know this information, know how to get it? Because obviously you wouldn't want, like, medications are so important, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Laura. Wow. Um, no.
Wow, Miss Laura.
Wow.
Dropping bombs over there.
She really just dropped a bomb. And I'm glad. I am very, very glad. You're
Ah,
right. I mean, I intend to be on this earth forever. I intend to outlive
Of
Ella.
course, of
But
course.
gosh, I'm gonna actually, why don't I have more paper available during these
You know,
meetings?
it's that stuff that nobody wants to think about.
Yeah.
And I think, fortunately and unfortunately, because my ofrenda keeps growing every year with family members that I've lost, and more like 5 out of the 8 have been sudden, overnight, unexpected losses. That it's kind of taught me to live my life in a way that, like, yeah, tomorrow is not promised for all of us. It's not something we ever want to think about, but it is reality. And especially with these kiddos that have so much going on in their lives, if someone has to step in, it's really good information for them to have, like what school they go to, who their, hab providers are, like all this guardianship paperwork. We have a whole section in the binder for the guardianship. I mean, just anything and everything that you can think of is in this kiddo's binder. So,
Kind of brilliant because, yeah, hey, we have our last will and testament and family trust, and we've outlined who is taking care of Ella, but they'll be like,
right.
well, WTF? What do we do with her
Exactly.
now? Um,
Exactly.
wow, that's kind of brilliant. So, you know, you just briefly listed like school, hab worker, obviously meds and pharmacies,
Doctors, every single
doctors.
doctor and all their information. I will go back and look at the table of contents and
Yeah,
get
would
that
you?
to you, because
That would
off the
be,
top of my head, I'm sure there's a lot I'm forgetting. But
yeah.
yeah,
and
No, that would be amazing.
I heard, I mean, this is um along these same lines, right? Like this
Yeah.
is a specific to the child who, has medical and other kind special needs. But I feel like I've also heard of like a book or a binder that's like literally called In Case I Die. Like,
yeah,
you know, like Mark, my husband, could really use one of those because really doesn't know how to do anything like that or where anything's at or
Well, yeah, because
so.
your
right.
trust, your last, your trust doesn't outline this is how to do the things. It just designates
Oh,
where
Carla,
stuff go.
that's still on the to-do list. So yes.
Yeah, I mean let's be honest, most women run the households, right? The men just kind of sit back and are in awe, but they don't really know. So yeah, this isn't even a neurodivergent issue. If you've
No,
got kids of any kind that need any kind of caregiving or anything, even if they're not on regular meds, but
right.
someone should know what their favorite dinner is and
Well, I was just
stuff like
thinking,
that.
like you just said that. The other day, here's another point. They call me from school on Thursday. Ella's throwing up. And I'm like,
Oh
she
no.
hasn't been sick. Like, God,
Right.
knock on wood, this Winrevair and all these other meds, like, she has not had the stomach stuff that she has had her whole life. She's not
Oh,
had it, right?
good.
And I'm like, caught by surprise because there were no symptoms leading up to it. I go pick her up, I bring her home. She's heaving a little bit. She's not got a fever, no diarrhea, nothing like that. I look in her lunchbox, folks.
Yeah.
What does Carly find? In one of her Tupperwares, chewed up piece of salami. She doesn't eat salami.
Okay.
And these
Okay.
weird stinky beef sticks. So I'm
Oh,
wondering, like, did something just like get? She was obviously sharing food with a friend. What
right.
did it maybe not sit well, and she's just reacting to that? Like I had to take
Yeah.
photos of everything, send it to the teacher, and
Right.
say, with love, please.
Right.
I know you guys are great keeping the dairy away from her, but she's not a beef stick salami eating kind of girl. Can we just
Yeah.
be careful? These are important
Right.
things to note, right?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, so, and then you have to keep her home for 24 hours after she's been barfing. So
Yeah.
off to my hair appointment we went for 2 hours. I
Wow.
even had to tip the girl extra because she was practically babysitting Ella while she's coloring my hair.
Wow.
I know, I know. And only because Ella's like trying to talk to everybody and dance her TikToks in front of them. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
um, brilliant, Miss Laura. Brilliant. And yes, if you could please get back to me with what that table of contents looks like, I
Yep.
would really appreciate that because that's potentially something I'll work on over the holidays this year when everything
Yeah.
comes to a slow down. Hopefully I'll
Yeah.
live at least that long. So
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just
no, no, no. You
suggesting
do it
you
because
have things in
I'm
place.
doing it so
Mhm.
that it doesn't happen. That's why you do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it doesn't mean anything catastrophic. Maybe you go on vacation for two
Yeah.
weeks. You get, the trip of a lifetime to Italy or something, and
Yes.
Chad needs to know how to do all the things while you're away?
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
Mm.
Well, okay, so on that point, let me tell you, after we put this binder together,
Yeah.
this mom was able to delegate things to the dad. So now the dad is able to fill out the case of the pills for the week because
Wow.
it's all detailed in the binder. So
I
there's
am
there's a lot of good positives to come
There
out of this.
are. I am going to do a video of that on Ella's Instagram because I just had to refill on Sunday. And you know how they've got like the blue side and then the white side, and I guess it's supposed to be night and day. I look at it as 2 weeks full of meds, so you don't have to do it for 2 weeks instead.
Oh, nice.
It's just the way I do it because I think it's just easier. But when I
Yeah.
was filling it out and putting, because she has 6 pills, 3 in the morning and 3 in the evening, I'm like,
Okay.
really need to do a little video of this because it's kind of humorous that this little 20-year-old, tiny, I've just crossed over 100 pounds body takes these many pills in a day, plus her little shot that she's gonna do. We should
Yeah.
do a
Well,
med
believe
post.
believe it or not, this kiddo takes probably double. He has
Really?
the ones with the 4 sections per day. So he takes
Wow.
them 4 times throughout the day for the whole week. So it's a lot.
What kind of meds are those?
I mean, a lot of them are supplements too, but
Okay,
um,
okay.
so
So
yeah.
some natural kind of stuff
Mhm.
in there to help offset
Yeah.
whatever stuff he's got going on, he or she's got going on.
Yep. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So yeah, that's where it's a little crazy right now. I have an off Ella, exciting announcement. Chase made the Brophy basketball team, which was a
Hey.
huge deal. Huge deal. 50 boys tried out. They only took 15. It was a big
Wow.
deal. Yeah, and they're from all over the city of Phoenix. You know, this is a very diverse high school with kids from everywhere, talent from everywhere, you know, so
Great.
very exciting. So Ella gets to go and cheer on her brother.
One of her favorite things to do.
We'll have to get some footage of that. Chase has warned her that if she starts talking about having to go to the bathroom during one of his games, she'll get ejected.
Chase his boundaries. I like it.
Chase's boundaries. You guys, there was just this one very intense, now take that for what it's worth, right? He was probably 12 at the time, but very intense club game, down to 30 seconds, maybe less, tied game. All the moms on the edge of our seats. The dads are not even sitting anymore. They're standing up at the back of the bleachers. And we've got Ella in our little cluster group. And we're watching the ball, you know, go. And we're like, come on, you got to make it, got to make it. And Ella starts yelling, poop! I have to poop! Bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, boom, shut it. So we don't want to repeat of that. That was the time. That was the last basketball game that Ella got to see because she got in trouble for that one.
Well, she'll be back in action soon enough.
Yes, she's getting her spot back as long as she's a good cheerleader this time around.
Miss Laura, how are things going for you?
Things have been going good. I was on a break last week, so caught up on some admin, and just getting back into the swing of things this week. And I was telling Carly before you logged on that I am a little bummed out. My third event for the women's group was supposed to be this coming weekend, but nobody has signed up. So there will not be an event this weekend. So I'm just going to do some thinking over the holidays and pivoting, and we'll see what the future holds.
So we were
Do
trying to
you?
figure out what the cause of that probably was.
Do you? Recent events have been well attended, though, right?
Not at all this fall. We haven't had anything since our retreat in
Oh,
June because I took a break over the summer.
uh-huh.
I had to cancel our first event in September. Our second event in October, we only had one sign up, and now this event.
Huh.
So, yeah,
So I was
I
saying I
think
don't
we
think
just
she should take it personally. I think it's just like kind of lost the momentum of it, right? Like kind of
exactly,
an event gets canceled, people are like, okay,
exactly.
and then so they lose that kind of like connection, and then
Right.
so that makes it harder for them to come back, right?
Like
It
I,
is.
I would almost imagine you need like your word pivoting. I almost think not, I don't want to call it a rebranding, but like a restart now. You need to get them re-engaged.
Hmm.
It almost isn't like a continuation of what's been happening. It's like a reinvention kind of it so that they get the momentum going again, maybe.
Get excited about it again, like, oh, it's a new year, new you. Let's, come together and support each other and how great we're going to be in 2025.
Yeah, and I'm maybe already doing that. So I did have an idea a few weeks ago that has already started to roll out. I had them, so I've just decided to kind of take a step back from live events and continue online on our text message thread on our phones. And I had them send me nominations for their favorite Christmas movie. And
Okay.
so I'm doing a bracket system starting this week, all the way up until Christmas Day. And what they don't know yet is that I am creating, because I'm a teacher and I can't help myself, a giant Christmas tree on my wall. And so the ornaments are going to be like the bracket, and the movies will go up, and the star will be the winner on Christmas Day. So I have had more interaction through the text message thread this week with people starting to vote because I send out one matchup every day and they send me back votes.
Okay.
So at least we're kind of getting interaction in there again, but it's also just making me think about culture today and how, because I've heard influencers, which I don't consider myself to be one, but I've heard influencers on Instagram get so frustrated because we live in this like 10-second society where like, yeah, if you don't post for a day, you
You've
lose
lost.
a
Yeah.
lot of traction. And
Yeah.
I mean, I had a very big family emergency in September. I didn't want to cancel that event, but I had to for my health.
Yeah.
And I knew as soon as I did it that there were going to be repercussions, and I was hopeful that with my self-care brand and everything that it wouldn't be that extensive, but the truth is it is. If you disappear for a day, people forget about you. And
Yeah.
I'm just not a person that buys into that. That's not something I ever want for any of us.
I would agree.
Um, so that's also why I'm kind of like using the word pivoting because I'm like I just don't know where this is going to go. I'm not even sure where my own head is at right now. So,
Yeah.
but I just know that's not something I want for any of us. And I keep trying to create these pathways in the world that go against the things that bug me like that. So I just have to figure out what that new pathway is going to be.
Yeah. You want it to feel natural and organic, right? You want it to just not feel
Exactly.
like a job. And
Exactly.
it can be so exhausting. I will tell you that with my
Hmm.
turkey trot, every year, I
Right.
have got to have a presence every single day. I
Yeah.
have to, and multiple times a day,
Yeah.
because I need to
Right.
get in front of people and change their algorithms so they see me and they donate and they register and
Yeah.
participate and sign up to
Yeah.
volunteer. And it
Yeah.
is exhausting. It's
It
exhausting.
is. And it
So,
goes against nature. I
yeah,
mean, the sun is going down earlier, the leaves are falling in other places. The animals are starting to hibernate, like
yeah,
we are supposed to be going truly into hibernation mode. And this is the time of year that is the busiest, the craziest, the
yeah.
longest days, the most on our calendars. It's truly exactly opposite of what our bodies and nature need.
I know. Isn't that funny?
Um, so it could just be that maybe the sisterhood only exists in the spring and summer, and maybe we go dark in the fall
Yeah,
to allow everyone to take care of themselves. Like, I'll still be there on the text message threads if people
right.
need me. They can certainly reach out, but maybe it's just that events will not be planned from August through December because that's just not what's needed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even envisioning you putting up a random post every so often that's just black and it says,
Mhm.
not back yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, you're
Yeah.
there, you're saying, hey, I am here,
Yeah.
but I'm not
Yeah.
back yet, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
no, I stand with you. It is exhausting that when I was even doing my nutrition stint for a while on Instagram because I wanted to be a voice of, you know, reliable, science-based nutrition
Right.
information, not this who's what's it. This is what I tried, itchy but for
Right.
you, that kind of baloney
Right.
sausage. But it's
Yeah,
exhausting. And then it felt like
it
work.
is.
And I don't want it to be
Mm-hmm.
work. I want to have fun with it, which is why
Yep.
I'm just going to drink wine now because that is organic and easy and happens almost on a daily basis over here. So,
The other thing I'll say to Miss Laura is that, we're talking about a women's group, right? And what
Correct.
self care. And what are women bad at? Most. I know I am. I'm the worst, if you can't tell by looking at me. Self care. And then in turn, prioritizing themselves. So
Exactly.
really getting them back into that mode. Because, like, for me, and I know these things are not the same, but I'm just putting it in my world. I'm part of a book club, right? We get together once a month. I cannot tell you, and we've moved it like from going outside of people's homes. When we first started the book club 14 years ago, um, it used to be like, okay, it would go to a different person's home, and then that person was like
Right.
appetizers and wine. Then we tried to simplify it. I mean, we are now like just in a little local neighborhood tavern. I cannot tell you, like, let's say there's 9 women in the group, or let's just say 10 for easy numbers. You might get a response when the date is set. It starts out 7 can come. Then the week of, it's dropping off to 5 can come. And then often we have 3. And why is that? You don't see, I'm not being rude. You often do not see that with men. If men say they're going to be there, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
And just don't prioritize themselves. They're like, oh, oh, my kids are going to be do that. Oh, let me see. I don't know. I need to see if so-and-so is going to be home. We have basketball practice. Or, oh, let me see. I have to take my mom to the doctor. Or it's always someone else before us. And so you really might just be seeing a little bit of that. And these women need to be encouraged to prioritize this.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I definitely feel like that's what I'm seeing, but it's hard because I can't make them prioritize themselves. I can absolutely encourage it, but I can't make it happen. So I think that's kind of the rock and the hard place that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I just don't want you internalizing it, because I feel like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Well, I know, because she was a little deflated, and when I first saw her when we got on, and that made me very sad, because there's nothing about you that's the problem here at all. In fact, these women probably need you more than you realize they do. So, don't give up. Hang in there. Don't give up. Keep that spark, because they need you. So,
right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And clearly I need you, because that was a brilliant idea earlier in the show with the, hey, Carly, how about the how do I take care of Ella plan if you're not around?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Well, Nicole, speak to us from Chicago. How are things out there?
Gosh. Lack of self-care, lack of myself. Yeah. So in terms of Miss Laura, just speaking about kind of the season, right? I could not agree more. I can see it here. I mean, I don't mean to be stupid. I don't know your in your time zone, but like, it is dark very early here, like 4:30. It's getting dark here.
Wow.
So
it's about 6:00 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like 4:30. It's getting dark. And I mean, that means like you're seeing it even at 3:30, it starts to look different, the sky.
Right.
So I do think it's a season where like here, it's like definitely cooling, like it's cool here. And but that pull you're speaking of about that, like wanting to bunker down on a couch with a blanket, but then, oh my gosh, I'm already, I have a sister-in-law leaving me voice messages as we speak about Thanksgiving and kids coming home from college and this and that, and booking a flight so he can come home. And my daughter's in a very, very busy phase. So it's kind of interesting, that kind of, I don't know, inner turmoil and figuring, the kind of all this end of the year stuff. But all is good out here. That's for sure. All is good. Not planning anything as crazy and big and fun as Carly's turkey trot, but we do have one in town for Thanksgiving. So,
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. Elmhurst, the city of Elmhurst gets together and does that, right?
we do. Yes, we do. Fundraiser.
That's
so, yeah, nothing, really nothing much to report. I feel like my family continues to adjust to the kind of this new phase with our big ball of energy, not living at home, though continuing to drain us from afar. With various phone calls and needing of things to include money and advice and other things. So, but everything is good, all in all. Very good here.
Oh, good. Well, I can't believe we've already been chatting for almost 30 minutes, so we've got to end the show. Miss Laura, do you have any final thoughts that you would like to end with on this lovely November day on the precipice of Thanksgiving? Because the next time we meet, it will be the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my gosh. Wow. That's crazy. It's so, I think because we were so hot for so long, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that October is gone. So yeah, I'm really trying to, because we live in a state that is warmer, we don't get the dark, rainy, snowy days. Our weather and our light patterns don't necessarily show us that we are headed into the time of hibernation. Just trying to find pockets. If you're super duper busy, um, and you don't even feel like you can take 5 minutes, that's when you probably need at least 30. So, like maybe your family can circle around a Christmas movie every Sunday evening or something. Like find a pocket of time in your week where you personally can hole up for a little bit, you as a family can hole up for a little bit. Stillness more than ever is really important for our nervous systems moving forward. So that's what I would recommend.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And on that note, I'm going to say that to remember when the planes fly overhead to try
A
and
grateful heart is a magnet for miracles.
yes, exactly. The grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. And Nicole,
Take a minute every day to express your
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope. It's all you.
Oh, I already said it. I was saying just take a minute every day to think about, write down, pray on whatever it is you're grateful for, because there's always so much to be grateful for.
Yeah, I think that the writing down of it is really important so that you can look at it, see it, and feel it. So, all right,
Great.
ladies. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Podcast Mamas are out.